Right friends, welcome back to mini capsule. This is right to life and advanced care. Here some petitioners moved Supreme Court stating that right of a person to plan the course of his own treatment or advanced care directives. The person should have the right to choose his own line of treatment, and with this intention, 4 petitioners have moved the Supreme Court for the right of a person to plan the course of his own treatment or advanced care directives. So, if some X is affected with some disease, he should have right to decide what type of treatment he can be resorted to. So, let us assume some X is affected by cancer, and X must have right to choose the course of treatment, and if possible, he should have a right, if he decides to stop the treatment also, that should be his right. With that intention, 4 persons have moved the Supreme Court. Now the matter is referred to Health Ministry by the Supreme Court. Friends, before going ahead, what is death in law? This is today Hindu's article. What is the meaning of death in law? There are 3 things. One is section 46 of IPC clearly says death is death of a human being, simple definition. And section 2B of the Registration of Births and Deaths Act of 1969, it does not recognize brain stem deaths. It does not recognize brain deaths. So, the hospital authorities continue to sustain the patient till his heart ceases to beat. As long as heartbeat is there, as per this particular section, he is not treated as a dead person, or you can say it does not recognize brain death. So, brain death definition is not there as per this act. Then if you go to Transplantation of Human Organs Act 1994, here if a person is willing to donate his organs, the brain death is certified and recognized. So, this recognizes brain death, this does not recognize brain death, so this recognizes only death. So, there is a lot of inconsistency in our laws. So, the fundamental point is whether the patient should be left to the vagaries of these contracting laws in the final moments of his life, right. So, laws are different, and in the final moments of life, whether the patient is left to various definitions under various laws. This says brain death is not recognized. This says brain death is recognized. Under these circumstances, the petitioner's contention that the person should have the option to choose his own treatment or advanced care directives. Why this is required? This is required to avoid being subjected to any kind of medical treatment which violates both physical and personal dignity during the last moments of life. And suppose let X affected with cancer and he knows that it is a terminal disease. The chances of curing that particular disease are less. Under those circumstances, the person must have the right to choose his own options. Whether he wants to be left without treatment, whether he wants some palliative care, like that he should have option to decide what is to be the treatment required for his own well-being, right. Then this also includes right to choose to not seek to receive and obtain any kind of medical treatment, and here the petitioners argued how the fundamental right to choose one's medical treatment or even to decide to deny oneself any treatment is confused with euthanasia or any other forms of attempts to suicide. Here all of you should have idea about euthanasia. What is meant by euthanasia? This is the painless killing of a person suffering from an incurable and painful disease or in an irreversible coma. If a person is in painful disease than painless killing of the person suffering from such type of disease is euthanasia. And here the petitioners also argued right to life entails the right to decide one's future medical care in the advent of a terminal illness. Terminal illness means death is certain. Because of that particular disease, when death is certain, then it is known as terminal disease, right? So, these are the petitioner's contentions. Please go through them. And now, what about the present provisions in India? If you look at the present provisions in India, government proposed medical treatment of terminally ill patients bill, which is in the public domain. It has not been finalized. The draft only addresses the issue of euthanasia. The issue of euthanasia for the terminally ill patients, that is the draft bill addresses only this, but not the right of a person to refuse treatment under Article 21 of the Constitution, right? So, this is all about the petition in the Supreme Court. So, Supreme Court asked the Ministry of Health to consider their petition. Right, this is all about right to life and advanced care. Right, friends, have a nice day. Thank you.